Now at 8, Israel and Hamas at war with civilians caught in the middle. What we know about evacuations in the Middle East tonight and support for both Israelites and Palestinians in the U.S. More than 2 weeks after an attack at a Seattle light rail station that left 2 people injured, a man is now in custody.
Are you getting emotional?
Oh, of course I am. I've been crying the whole time.
Some woke up early this morning to catch a glimpse of a unique phenomena in the sky. What we know about the annual eclipse, and we'll show you.
Tracking some showers tonight, tracking some showers tomorrow, but on Monday, we're tracking rain, possibly quite a bit of it. We'll track it together coming up.
The window to evacuate from northern Gaza has expired. Israel dropped these leaflets yesterday telling more than 1 million people to evacuate south within 24 hours as it prepares for the next stage of its war against Hamas. Thanks for watching this special edition of ABC's King 5 News at 8 tonight. I'm Madison Wade. It's been exactly 1 week since Hamas launched a surprise attack against Israel. Now more than 3,000 people have died on both sides. The State Department says that includes nearly 30 Americans. Another 15 U.S. citizens and a permanent resident are still missing tonight. President Joe Biden spoke with some of their families today.
I know from experience there's not a single thing more worrisome than have someone you love, someone you adore, adores you, and not knowing their fate. Not knowing their fate.
Tonight, rallies in support of both Israel and Palestine are being held across the country. These images out of Washington, D.C. and Sacramento, California. A similar show of support here at home tonight. Right now, we know of at least 2 rallies held today, a rally calling for freedom in Palestine. Another candlelight vigil honors the Israeli victims. We have coverage from both of these rallies tonight, starting with King 5's Julie Calhoun at that vigil.
Madison, the vigil just wrapped up moments ago. Some of that candlelight is still right here behind me. It was a somber feeling tonight. Dozens of people from the Iranian and the Jewish community coming together to honor and remember the at least 1,300 lives that were lost in Israel last week during that Hamas attack. The message tonight, that is solidarity. At tonight's candlelight vigil, the Iranian community hosting the vigil, showing their support for Israel and the 2 groups uniting against the terrorist group Hamas. We have heard from multiple people tonight who have either lost loved ones in Israel or have loved ones there right now.
Not sleeping much, 24/7 on social media, watching the news, talking to them, talking to friends, talking to family. It's a nightmare.
And coming up tonight at 11, we will hear more from the people here at tonight's vigil and from Iranians of why they want to stand in solidarity with Israel tonight. For now, live in Kirkland, Julie Calhoun, King 5 News.
Julie, thank you. From Kirkland to Seattle, hundreds of people took to the streets of Seattle today in support of the people of Palestine and against attacks on Gaza. King 5's Connor Board was at the rally today and joins us now live in studio. Connor.
Madison, earlier today, people marching through the streets of Seattle were calling on Israel to halt any attacks on Gaza. They were also calling on the United States to stop supporting Israel.
Free, free Palestine!
Calls for freedom and calls for the attacks by Israel on Gaza to stop echoed Saturday throughout the streets of downtown Seattle. As a rally at Westlake Center turned into a march through several downtown city blocks.
I think it's terrible that they're being told to get in cars and buses and then they bomb the buses. It's beyond hatred.
With the recent Hamas attack on Israel and Israel's current attacks on Gaza, there is concern for all civilians killed in the chaos.
There are victims in Israel and in Gaza, but this is horrible.
With threats of more attacks in just hours to evacuate, people in Seattle who are longtime supporters of Palestine say it's unfair to the civilians stuck in Gaza.
2 million people are stuck in Gaza and can't get out. And so the idea that they will have an opportunity to evacuate is ridiculous because it's a police state that controls their movement.
With an attack by Israel looming on Gaza, one rally organizer says concern is high, but this is nothing new.
We've been concerned for over 75 years during this occupation, so this is something that unfortunately we are used to, and that's why we're out in the streets today.
As this group of people call for freedom for the people in Palestine, they hope that attacks will stop and civilians will stop dying.
And I wish that the world would wake up and say, there are better solutions than this.
And Connor, this was a large-scale rally. This is just one of the rallies like these held this week, and more are also planned.
Yeah, the rally organizer you just heard from said they're going to keep holding these events in Seattle to make sure that their voices are heard.
All right, Connor, thank you. We'll continue to follow this and keep you updated. We are monitoring the situation overseas up to the minute tonight. Again, at this point, Israel expected to invade Gaza on the ground. No word yet on when that attack is expected exactly, but the window for those in northern Gaza to evacuate is over. Stay tuned for more coverage tonight on King 5 News at 10 and 11. New information tonight. More than 2 weeks later, the man accused of attacking two people with a hammer at the Beacon Hill Light Rail Station in Seattle has been arrested. This attack happened on September 29th. The two victims survived, and the suspect is being held at the King County Jail on a $1 million bail. An 18-year-old man has been arrested after a deadly shooting in Everett. Police say it happened near Cascade High School yesterday. The 18-year-old male victim was not a student there, and school was not in session when police got there. Police tell us that they believe there are no other suspects in this shooting. Seattle police are expected to look into this fire in Seattle's Westlake neighborhood. It happened in an apartment on Dexter Avenue North early this morning, causing $100,000 in damage. No one was hurt, but fire investigators at the scene do believe the fire was set intentionally. We will keep you updated. Let's turn now to your forecast. The sun has set over western Washington tonight, but it was a beautiful day. Chief Meteorologist Mike Everett is tracking more rain as we move into the second half of the weekend.
Yes, I am. In fact, we've got a series of weak systems that'll spin through tonight and throughout the day on Sunday. Despite that, we will see some sun out there. I'll tell you more about that in a moment, but let's start where we are. Very interesting Saturday night out there where we are tracking some breezy conditions and some rain out there. Taking a live look over top of the Seattle Metro right now. So there's some raindrops on the lens right now, but you can see that cloud deck way up high, letting you know that we're getting a little bit of a relent for the time being. Temperature sitting in the upper 50s right now with a light breeze coming in from the southeast. Showers and sunbreaks again on Sunday. We'll track that together. And then heavier rain arrives on Monday. In fact, we've got a pretty hefty system pointed right our way. But once we get through that, sunshine and warming midweek. Take a look at the big picture in the GOES 18 satellite. Yep, there's a low pressure system out there, and it's going to point the hose at us. We'll track it together coming up.
King 5 Sports is sponsored by the next generation Xfinity 10G network. The future starts now.
Well, according to ESPN stats, the Oregon Ducks had a 96% chance to beat the Washington Huskies when they had the ball and the lead with just over 2 minutes to play. Five High alum MJ Ollie made a huge play on third down, and then the Ducks went for it on fourth down and didn't convert, which gave the Huskies one final chance to win it. Plenty of big stars on hand today, like Julio Rodriguez, hanging out watching the Ducks and Huskies. After punting on their opening drive, the Huskies went to work with 3 straight touchdown drives. Michael Penix to Giles Jackson, 26-yard touchdown. With 57 seconds to play in the first quarter, Penix strikes again. He throws a perfect pass to Jalen Polk. The Huskies lead it 14-8 after the first. Dylan Johnson had a huge day for the Dogs. He rushed for 100 yards and had this touchdown in the second quarter. The Huskies lead it 22-18 at the half. In the third quarter, the Huskies added their lead. Penix is going to float it up, and Rome Odunze hauls it in. Rome had 8 grabs for 128 yards, 29-18 Dogs. The Ducks answer with back-to-back touchdowns. Jordan James rumbles in. The Ducks now lead it 33-29. After the Huskies and Ducks were both denied on fourth down, the Huskies get the ball back, and with 1:46 to go, Penix to Odunze for the biggest touchdown of the season. Huskies take a 3-point lead. The Ducks still had time, and they have one of the best kickers in the country. Camden Lewis had a chance to send it to overtime, but it's wide right. Huskies win it 36-33. Jake Garcia has more from Husky Stadium.
The UW offense hadn't done anything in the second half. Scoreless for right around 25 minutes, and Oregon was a fourth down conversion away from winning the game. What followed was a season-changing series of events. A stop, a score, and a missed field goal sent Montlake into mayhem.
I figured the clock had hit 0, but I double-checked. If there's one that I've been a part of that was bigger or better, I can't think of it right now.
I got a lot of adrenaline running through my veins.
Before the madness, there was the magic. The Huskies were down by 4 with under 2 minutes left, and Michael Penix Jr. was in serious pain.
I mean, the guy's cramping up. I mean, cramping.
Penix had taken a shot to the ribs, but said there was no way he was coming out.
Man, he's a dog. He's a dog, bro.
First, a chunk play to Jalen Polk. And the game-winning touchdown pass to Roma Dunze.
Man, oh man, you know, my guy versus their guy. I'm going to take my guy every time.
That was a check play. Me and Penix kind of connected on that. Yeah, you know, kind of gave me the head nod to do what I needed to do.
It was the finishing touch on a 4-touchdown masterpiece for Penix, many calling it his Heisman moment.
There's not enough words to describe, you know, how I feel about him, and, you know, I think our whole team would echo that for sure.
For Penix, it was exactly as he drew it up.
When those situations do come, you know, I understand that I'm mentally prepared and you know, always ready for those moments.
For the Huskies, a heavyweight battle that ended in pure hysteria.
We had a lot of fun in the locker room, that's for sure.
Coaches and players marveled after the game at just how much this felt like deja vu. Last year's win for the Huskies was also keyed by a late score and a 4th down stop. History repeats as UW has now beaten Oregon for a 2nd straight year. The Huskies stay undefeated in Pac-12 play. Reporting in Seattle, Jake Garcia, King 5 Sports.
Well, it has been a day to remember for Husky fans. Long before they were storming the field after the game, they were up early for ESPN's College Game Day. Brady Wakayama has the story.
An early wake-up call.
Yeah, I'm running on an hour and a half of sleep, and I'm ready to party, baby. Go, Dogs!
Because the hunt is on.
Go, Dogs!
ESPN's College Game Day making its 3rd visit to the University of Washington. And these fans are hyped.
Go, Dogs!
For this particular game day to finally be here.
It was so crazy. I knew like it was going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I was so excited to be here. Yeah, it's my last year, and so I'm just like, incredible. It's incredible. It's all so fun.
It's the first time the iconic pregame show is back at UW since 2016, and nearly 10 years to the day since its first visit back in 2013, when the Huskies were also taking on their Pac-12 rivals, the Oregon Ducks.
We're at College Game Day, and the Dogs are about to get their butts kicked because the Ducks are #1.
Despite Purple Rain being a dominant force early Saturday morning, with waves of rowdy fans flooding UW's Red Square, there is a cougar sighting in the middle of this pup pack. But today's not about the Cougs or the Ducks.
Go, Ducks!
It's all about the...
Go, Dogs!
Reporting for King 5 News, I'm Brady Wakayama.
All righty, let's talk about those Cougs. Homecoming for the 19th ranked Cougs. Wazoo starts strong against Arizona. On their first drive, they go 11 plays, 75 yards. Nakia Watson with the touchdown. Arizona answers with a touchdown. Then the Cougs go for it on 4th and 1 from their own 34. The Wildcats stop them and turn it into a field goal. Next possession, Wazoo tries a trick play. John Mateer gets the lateral, throws it downfield. He is picked off. Arizona turns that into a touchdown. Cougs down 20-6 at halftime. Wazoo's first possession of the second half ends with another turnover. Cam Ward picked off. Arizona keeps with the theme, turns it into 6. After Wazoo fails on 4th and short, Arizona runs it in for a score. Wildcats scored 44 unanswered points. Cougs lose 44-6. To the ice, the Kraken in St. Louis still looking for their first win. Just 40 seconds into the second period, Oliver Bjorkstrand fires, and Jaden Schwartz is there to knock it in. Seattle takes the lead, but St. Louis answers, and this game goes to a shootout. In the shootout, the Blues sneak one on their 3rd shot. Seattle would go 0 for 3 in the shootout. And St. Louis, they win it 2-1 in a shootout. The Kraken will have their home opener on Tuesday against Colorado. Hopefully a little home ice will get them winning, but in the end today, it's all about the purple and gold. The Huskies with a huge win today.
Huge win, yeah. Go Huskies. Chris,
Go Dogs.
thank you.
The natural beauty, just amazing, amazing.
Also coming up, a unique experience over the skies of the Pacific Northwest. Still ahead on King 5, we travel to Oregon to see the annular eclipse. And more rain and cloud cover ahead for us in western Washington. Your full forecast is next. Did you see it? Washington got a glimpse of the annual solar eclipse this morning. This is a picture from retired King 5 photographer Dave Wyke. He sent in that picture of the eclipse. You notice the clouds there, and we wanted to see if you could capture the eclipse without these clouds this morning. So we sent meteorologist Leah Pizzetti down to Oregon to see it for herself.
In the darkness of the morning, before the sun has had a chance to rise.
There's a telescope. That's one of them, yeah.
People are gathering.
People lined up on that road all night long.
Choosing a place.
North Pole about right there, you think?
Full of empty space to watch, to remember.
These are stickers to celebrate the day.
A few minutes in time.
The moon will cover the sun, but not all of it.
An annular solar eclipse.
And where's the focus knob?
A lesson Auntie Cindy is teaching her nephews.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. You're using the focus knob. You're learning all kinds of ways to operate the telescope. Good job, bud.
Who are hungry to learn.
Wow.
On this cold morning, most are praying for a miracle.
Let's just hope the weather cooperates.
When daylight should be breaking through.
Well, right now, the thickest cloud is right where the sun should be.
Mother Nature has a different idea.
Wow.
Clouds. Yeah, pretty much. That's what we're seeing right now.
But still,
part of the fun is just showing up and seeing what happens.
No one loses hope.
Oh, the sun just peeked out a little bit up top there.
And with just minutes.
It's 9:06 right now.
Until the full annular eclipse.
Oh, come on.
A miracle.
It's getting darker all the way across the horizon.
The sun breaks free from behind the lingering clouds, only to be blocked again, but this time...
Oh my gosh! Where the sun came out, the clouds parted just in time.
It's welcomed.
That's the sun and the moon covering it.
And for a few fast minutes...
We're looking at the dark side of the moon, so it was only appropriate to play a little Pink Floyd while doing this.
This empty space feels full.
It's only happened a couple times in my life, and so I gotta savor the moment and just truly enjoy it.
Full of hope.
I've been crying the whole time.
Full of gratitude.
Thanks, Mom, for
you're welcome.
making us get out.
Yes.
Full of unity.
Just the wonder of nature and how different everything can be, and just when things align, I mean, it's just beautiful.
And just as fast as it starts.
Almost not a full ring, almost over.
These fleeting moments are quick to pass.
Overwhelmed by, the natural forces that are far more significant than we are.
Oh, look at that.
A space that was once dark and empty, now left full and bright.
It just makes my heart flutter.
These feelings continuing into the daylight.
And you know what? We really were on the edge of our seats waiting to see if the clouds would break, and to see it happen perfectly in time for that maximum annular eclipse was incredible. It was emotional. I found myself tearing up a little bit. I looked around. Other people were doing the same. Truly, there are no words to describe what it is like to see something like this with your own eyes. Reporting from Fort Rock State Park in Oregon, Leah Pizzetti, King 5 News.
Another special Pacific Northwest moment caught on camera. Southern resident orcas have returned to Puget Sound. The Orca Network says all 3 Southern resident pods, JK and members of the L pod, were spotted on Thursday and Friday. Both days the orcas were spotted near Edmonds before they moved towards Seattle's Discovery Park and Whidbey Island. And one member of the Orca Network who shot this video you're seeing here is calling their return pure magic. Orcas and eclipse. All in one day.
A magical Saturday.
A magical Saturday, to say the least. And I just think the eclipse is so amazing to see, again, like Leah said, with your own eyes. I got the chance to see the total solar eclipse years ago in Tennessee. And I can't even describe the whole darkness moment when that happens. And that one lasted for a long time, too.
I got to see it in Casper, Wyoming in 2017, a full eclipse. And
so cool.
A lot of people teared up. I'm not afraid to admit it. I cried like a baby. I felt so insignificant, but it's also really fortunate at the same time. You know what? If you missed this eclipse, there is an opportunity to see another one. In fact, a very rare celestial occurrence where we had the annular eclipse, as we've been talking about all week long, basically had a path that looks something like this. The next one is going to be a full eclipse. It'll be taking part pretty much across the southern and eastern portion of the country. So if you want to plan ahead, April 8th is the day to do that. It's something that I'm going to be lobbying hard for. It's an amazing experience. Live look from Bellingham right now, where it is a bit on the breezy side out there. We've got kind of a rainy night, but we're kind of watching it taper off. We'll track that together in a moment. Temperatures pretty much right where they should be this time of year. The average at SeaTac is about 62, 63, so we were right there. 61 in Forks today, 63 in Bellingham. I think we were all on brand today. Ellensburg jumped out there at 67. We must have seen a little bit more sunlight there today than the rest of us did. Tracking most of those showers now, moving off towards the east, catching a little bit of a break over top of the Seattle Metro and King County right now, but another shower will pass through here within the next little bit, and then we're pretty much done for the night. Showers and sun breaks again on Sunday. We'll track that again in a moment. Heavy rain arrives on Monday. In fact, a very impressive plume pointed right at us. Sunshine and warming midweek, so a little bit of something for everybody out there. Taking another look at the big picture in the GOES 18 satellite, we are here. We've got this one plume that's kind of going to just peter out overnight tonight, and then that low right there is going to feed us some water on Monday. So rain potential between now and Tuesday is quite impressive, especially off towards Vancouver Island in British Columbia, where we had all of that wildfire activity this summer. Happy to share the love with our friends there. Looking at our gauge, anywhere between about 3 to 4 inches in the mountain ranges there. And it looks like we're going to do pretty well in our mountain ranges, especially the Olympics, but it looks like the Cascades will do fine. Now, taking a look at future radar, we'll get those showers out of here overnight tonight. Sunday actually starts on a pretty decent note. If you want to get out and get something done, looks like we get a nice break here, and then it's right after lunchtime, right around 1 o'clock, 1:30, we start to see that rain picking up from the coast inward, including King County and up towards Snohomish County. And then as we move into the evening, this is right around 5 o'clock, steady, heavy rain all the way up towards the Canadian border, Whatcom County, Skagit County, and even off towards Port Angeles and the northern tip of the Olympic Peninsula. And then this is waiting for us on Monday morning. We're going to see that rain steady and heavy throughout the day. This is right around mid-morning. Even when the kids get out of school at 3 p.m., still bands of heavy rain that will have some instability and some lightning potential, and then we'll wrap the whole thing up by tracking some convergence and some snow up into the Cascades there. In fact, we'll see plenty of it off towards the Olympics as well, so this is going to be a very robust system. 7-day forecast shows fall in full effect this weekend. It's going to be cool, it's going to be wet until Wednesday, when we're going to take another run at 70.
Before we go tonight, we want to show you some of the fall colors starting to pop up around western Washington. This is new video out of Leavenworth tonight. You can see a lot of red, yellows, and oranges. It is gorgeous. And the leaves are starting to catch up with the season over in Pullman. WSU shared this video of the fall colors on social media. It really is changing outside, and it's looking good.
It's starting to look and feel more like autumn out there. I love it.
Yes, I agree. It's awesome. Well, thank you so much for tuning in for our special edition of King 5 News. We are back at 10 and 11. We'll see you then.
Bye now.